Let me pull up the Facebook. Mark, do the intro, please.
Hello, welcome to Horror Movies and Shit with myself, Mark, and as always,
Jim.
Jim, yes.
We
Jim, we have a special guest coming back on for the
do.
second time.
Third.
Well, I probably wasn't there. We have Devon back on. Devon, you are our favorite animal helper / gorfer / killer balloon / silver scream, maybe a killer snowman movie?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, we have a
Welcome
killer
back.
snowman. Well, thank you so much for having me back.
Every time, sir. Every time. So first off, Devon, tell everybody where they can follow you in Dead Prairies.
Oh, for sure. Dead Prairies Productions can be found on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, X, all social media platforms, basically. It's pretty easy to contact us. I usually get back to people in like 24 hours if you have any questions.
Awesome. So you have a big announcement with regard to your upcoming movie. You guys posted, was it yesterday, I think, that you were 90% sold out for the premiere?
Yeah, so it's wild. On Friday, it was actually sold out on Friday. Then I went to talk to the venue and they're like, we can squeeze 23 more. So I was like, we can sell 23 more tickets. And yeah, there's like there's like no tickets left basically. So
that's amazing.
Good chance I'm going to be announcing a big sellout tonight.
That's fantastic. Congratulations.
Awesome.
So before we get into the films, tell us a little bit about what Dead Prairies production does.
Dead Prairie Productions is like a very low budget horror film company from Swift Current, Saskatchewan. We donate the proceeds to help out the rescue dogs and rescue cats. We raised $35,000 in Swift Current alone.
Wow.
We started to take the movies on tours to different cities, and we donate the proceeds from that city to their rescue shelters as well, like Saskatoon, Medicine Hat, Toronto, Regina, Australia. Even they donated rescue animals in Australia, which was cool.
Wow, that's pretty amazing. You're doing.
I kind of feel like rescue animals in Australia are probably extremely deadly.
A spider needs love too.
That's right. As long as it's not a snake, snakes will get no love from me. So, Devon, your premiere is when?
The new film is The Silver Scream and is premiering on September 6th in Swift Current.
I'm so excited. I can't wait till it's available on DVD so I can buy it.
Oh, it's fun. It was a lot of fun. And putting it together was even more fun because you film this movie, everything just random clips basically, right? So you're like, how the hell am I going to put this together? And then once it starts to be like an actual story, you're like, oh, this is actually really awesome to see come to life. And then I start throwing music in there, sound effects, start editing to make it more smooth out. And I was like, this is awesome.
That is pretty great. I'm excited. So, Mark, you may not know this, but you might hear a familiar voice in this film.
Hopefully it's not yours.
I guess you'll have to watch to find out.
Like you're really slumming it now. I know you're kind of micro budget, but I mean that's ridiculous.
I don't care what you say,
Mark. I have
a
question, but I'm going to grab my external speaker because my laptop sucks for sound. So
okay,
I'll be right back.
Sure, no problem. So tell us about the Silver Scream. What can people expect from this one?
Oh, for sure. Silver Scream, we actually made like an escape room back like 2 years ago. So I'm basing it off that. We had fake movie posters in the escape room, was like the snowman, the gnomes, and the doll. And I was like, I have like a whole plot already. I could do like a story about the escape room kind of.
Right.
And then I could do a story about the snowman, the gnomes, the doll. So then I started piecing things together. Everything worked out great. So anybody that went to the escape room will have a little bit of Easter eggs in there too.
Nice.
But yeah, no, it's a very good nod to like Creepshow, Tales from the Dark Side, Goosebumps even.
Mm-hmm. I'm excited. Can we expect the highbrow comedy of the Gorfers franchise?
A bit. I wouldn't say that top. I think the snowman is going to have some reaction with his parts.
That's awesome.
Well, that's what happened in Jack Frost.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. That snowman has some reaction with his parts.
Oh,
yeah, he did. Hey, Mark, turn on noise canceling.
Oh, shut up. Okay.
Well, I mean, you're echoing.
Okay. Sound.
So, Devon, you tend to have a lot of the same people in some of your films. Are we going to see a lot of returning cast from some of your other productions?
Yeah, that's the cool thing. Like I find every year we start to get new faces. Like the Silver Scream, we had about 23 new faces that never
awesome.
been in Dead Prairies Productions films before. So that was a huge amount. And then this one, the Killer Balloon 2 that's coming out, I think we'll even have more new faces.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I'm excited for you. What are you hoping to do with Killer Balloon 2 that you didn't get to do with Killer Balloon 1?
I kept it pretty close to the same style for like dark humor and all that because I didn't want to like step away from that.
Yep.
That's what made the Killer Balloon. I actually joked about doing a trilogy back in 2020.
Yep.
I had an idea for first one, second one, and third one, and I was joking with people like, "Yeah, this would be fun to do a whole trilogy of the Killer Balloon movie."
That's awesome.
And then it started getting more serious about doing a sequel after the first one got released. I was like, this actually could work out really good. And then last year I started figuring out the plot for it from like the start to finish to the end. And yeah, it is something. I haven't revealed the actual title yet.
Okay.
Because if I reveal the title, people will definitely put it together pretty quick.
Fair. Absolutely fair. Killer Balloon is not one that I've seen yet. So tell us a little bit about the movie.
It's the kind of like it's pretty basic. It's like Killer Balloon. It's kind of like Snakes on a Plane, right to the title.
Fair enough.
It has a very dark opening, to be honest. We actually had somebody sent a message saying that you guys should have a trigger warning because there's some pretty dark stuff at the start. And I was like, yeah, okay, sure. And then I didn't see that personally, but maybe for others could be.
Yeah.
And then yeah, it had a lot of good reactions because the music, the dark humor, then there's like some emotional scenes in there as well that people were getting kind of teared up with some death scenes from their favorite characters. We had a little bit of a spoof to Weekend at Bernie's.
Oh, nice. I do love that movie. I do.
So,
Mark?
Well, first of all, is my sound better? Or no?
Yeah, it's much better. Yes, thank you.
Right. Okay, so I haven't seen Killer Balloon either.
Yeah.
But is it a singular balloon?
Yes, just one red balloon.
So in the sequel, like no spoilers, are there balloon animals? Because that would be great.
No, no balloon animals.
Oh,
damn it!
Well, save that for the end of the trilogy.
That's the thing. I don't want to like I did a lot in number 2 here for like ideas and all that, but I did leave enough room that I have to do like more. I even went into like the backstory of Looney the Balloon in the second one just because it never was revealed in the first one at all.
I mean, that would be my first question. What is the backstory of the balloon?
Exactly. And I got asked that every time I did like a showing in Saskatoon, a film festival and all that. They're like, what's the backstory of Looney the Killer Balloon? And I was like, you're going to have to find out in the sequels.
What was his family life like? And
I mean, did he have a family life? I guess we just have to watch the
You're
film.
gonna have to find out. The
Right?
first one did not reveal like anything for backstory. It just boom, there's the killer balloon. And the second one we're gonna reveal, was it just always a balloon, or was there a human before, like Chucky kind of?
I don't personally. I don't need a backstory. Some things are just bad.
No,
Yeah.
no. I would love like an extensive backstory behind the balloon.
It won't be too much, but I gave enough for people to be curious even more.
That's fair.
Do you have a tagline for the second one?
Timeline for like filming wise or plot?
Tagline.
Oh, tagline. Sorry. I don't yet.
So, James, do you want to come up with one right here?
I'm not that creative, Mark.
Oh.
Do you have one?
I'll see you in helium. No, that doesn't.
You would just do HE, like
Yeah,
the periodic table.
Yeah. The new pop sensation.
Yeah, but if you pop him, he's not really dangerous anymore.
Well, I don't know. I haven't seen it.
So that doesn't make any sense.
Perfect.
I mean, it seems to me like the easiest thing. I mean, the most logical thing would just be Looney's back, right?
Looney's back, right?
Well, yeah, Jim, you have no imagination.
I know I don't. I am not the creative guy. I fix computers for a living.
It's the second movie.
I do not want to hear it because I went to a book signing thing this weekend, and I saw Mark and our buddy Tim, and my new buddy Jared, and I bought some books from Tim, and he just in every single one wrote 2 books. Really? I'm like, yeah. So don't tell me I'm not creative. An author can't come up with anything better.
Yeah. Well. Anyway, so as I left to get my speaker, the Silver Screen.
Yep.
So it is a killer snowman movie, right?
It's 3 vignettes, right? Or 3 short stories.
Yeah, there's 3 different stories. There's like the main story that connects the 3 together. It's basically these girls go to a movie showing. They got like a premiere pass to this new horror film, and then they watch these short horror films on the screen, and then they find out that they're involved in a horror film themselves.
Oh, it's like Demons.
A bit,
That's
yes.
pretty awesome.
Cool.
I like Demons a lot, and that's where I got some of my inspiration too.
That's that's got a great tagline. A movie about audience participation.
No, it's Demons and Demons 2 is good too, I thought.
Yeah, I love Demons 2.
I saw Demons 2. I have not seen the original. Mark's head's gonna explode.
Like a balloon.
Yeah.
Boom.
But please tell me, because I love the poster for this, that you're gonna put that up for sale.
Probably we're gonna do like little miniature posters probably for sale.
Okay.
And then we're gonna be giving away the actual movie size poster at the event too.
That's awesome.
And then he actually made a rated R version of the poster. There's more blood on it, and he's gonna give that away for the event. And we're probably gonna give little small posters away for that one too.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I want one of the. Mark, have you seen the poster?
No.
It's pretty cool. I love it. It's fantastic.
So then, what's the release schedule for your upcoming movies?
September 6th is the Silver Screen.
Okay.
Yeah. And then after that, I'm hoping to start filming the Killer Balloon 2 in late July here.
So last time we spoke, you talked about your expansive budgets.
Yes.
What did the budget look like for this one?
The Silver Screen was $175.
That is amazing. That is absolutely amazing. Mark would have financed that for you.
And Jim's in that one, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I do not die. Well, I don't know if I die in this one though.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't know if that knocks a bit off the budget, or but I
It's
mean,
like,
maybe now it's worth $50. I don't know.
Look, I was super excited to be a part of it. It was great.
So, Jim, give us your lines.
No, no spoilers till September 6th.
Is it a spoiler then?
you
I
give
don't
one.
know how to spoiler, but it gives away part of the story, and we don't want to do that.
Does it delve into your real life backstory, Jim?
100%. All three lines are all about my mother. Mark, you'll be happy about that.
Yeah, yeah. We won't bring that up.
Yeah, we won't bring that up. You brought enough of it up on Saturday.
Devin, you missed it. I don't know.
It was a blast. We
Oh,
had
it
a
was,
blast.
Mom.
But I'm super excited about the Silver Scream. So, what else do you have running around in your head? Because you always have a million ideas going.
Oh, I know. It's been crazy. Like I usually edit my film when I'm wrapped up, but this Silver Scream I actually started editing during filming, and I was like editing the Snowman movie, and then when I was filming the Doll movie, I was editing that one, and it helped. It actually helped. I think I might stick to that format
Awesome.
as long as my time schedule works out.
Yeah.
And then so then when I was editing, I was also coming up with the whole plot for Killer Balloon 2. And I was like, oh, I need to write this. So then I started writing that, then going back to editing, and then back to writing, and then back to editing, just to change things up so I'm not bored of doing the one same thing.
Right.
And it actually worked great. I was impressed. I thought it'd be too much work, but I was quite happy with the results for the script. And it's like the longest script I've done too.
Nice. That's awesome. So, other than films, you're working on a bunch of stuff for Dead Prairies. So, anything you can talk about right now?
We're gonna be an upcoming horror magazine for Scars magazine, which
Awesome.
hopefully gets released here shortly. I'm shocked that they're including Dead Prairies Productions. I was like, it's a dream. I don't know. I was a kid buying these horror magazines, Fangoria, and all this. I was like, oh, it'd be awesome being somehow involved with this.
Right.
Just a small article, even like a little picture or like any of that stuff. I was like, oh, this would be awesome. So then these guys like, yeah, we'll do a whole big write up about you. We'll do pictures. I'm like, wow, that's shocking. That's shocking, but cool.
How did they find you guys?
I think it went through Instagram there, I believe.
Oh, nice. That's awesome. You guys do a lot of good, so I'm glad you're getting that sort of exposure. I'm excited about that.
And then what else? I'm teaming up with like a local business in Swift Current here, and we're gonna be looking at other things that I think Swift Current needs more of, and I want to get back to like Saskatchewan artists more, and we have Saskatchewan musicians in our movies, right? So it'd be cool to help them out even more, give some attention to them. And yeah, I'm looking at possibilities to do that as well.
Oh, nice. Mark?
Yeah, I think that's awesome. I think you should do a movie, Devin, where at the end, people let the rescue animals out, and they're the ones that save the day.
Oh, that'd be awesome. That'd be awesome.
Yep.
That would be pretty great.
I usually have animals featured in my movies like every time. Even if they're not in the movie, they're like in the background walking around.
That's awesome. Mark, what are the questions you got?
So you've got a lot of plates spinning at the moment, and I know you're doing the opening for your new movie. Do you think like, hey, in a couple of years, I'd like to spend this amount and make something a bit more of a budget, or are you always looking at that? How can I make something on a really small budget all the time?
I've been actually given like an opportunities to do something bigger,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm also like worried because like I have to like be careful with my wording here, but like there's people who would be above me,
Right.
and I don't think the ideas that I would love to do would be accepted. unfortunately. And I find my films, we're allowed to do whatever crazy ideas we can do. There's no one saying no, we can't have a killer balloon strangle that girl. Like I was like, yeah, I don't know. And just yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. It's
And,
I I would hate to lose the passion for films too. Like I think if I
right.
were to jump on those opportunities.
And I think, and I brought this up before, like the Terrifier movies
Yeah.
are really like kind of a modern day blueprint to what like Romero, et cetera, was doing back in the day,
Yeah.
where he'd have an idea and then he'd go try and get financing, and they'd be like, "We'll give you all the money that you want, but you have to change this or tone it down." And he's like, "No, no, no, I'm just going to do it myself." But
Yeah.
I think with the Terrifier movies is a good template for being independent, can still mean successful,
Yeah.
and get to make the movie that you want.
Yeah, exactly. If some crazy reason that we were given the money and we are allowed like 100%, then yes.
So whenever Jim writes you that check for $100,000 or whatever he's going to give you for the honor of being in one of your movies, and he'll just say, "Just do what you want with it," then you can go ahead, right?
I'm
Yeah.
just waiting. I'm just waiting for Mark's check to clear to mail yours, Devon.
No.
No, that's why like I don't know, like I usually dabble in more like the cheesy dark humor stuff because it seems to work better for the low budget stuff and it fits what I write, I think. If I were to get more money, I'd probably go more of the serious route probably.
So, with your own filmmaking, right? When you write a story, do you always envision it being darkly comedic, or do you see darker undertones ever? Like, do you ever have to edit yourself?
Um there was yeah, like the killer balloon, the opening scene, I was like, this is potentially some darker real life situations that people deal with.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, well, this could be too dark, but then like I don't know, it's weird. Like I usually take my own emotions and put into my films as well. I throw some of my own experiences in life, people that I met over my time, and throw the ideas out there and like and yeah, like, it might not be obvious for some people, but I definitely talk about depression and mental health a lot in the films.
Mm-hmm.
So,
You might
so,
not see that.
so what happens at the start of Killer Balloon? What is the more taboo thing?
So there's this clown. He's going through like major depression. He's by himself and he's holding this balloon through every scene. And he's like in the swing set by himself, going down the slide by himself. He's um, vacuuming, looking depressed, and he's drinking. And then he's trying to pass off this balloon to a kid. The kid doesn't want the balloon. And then he starts hearing voices in his head saying, "You're a loser. You should not be around anymore. You should kill yourself." And then he thinks it's in his head.
Hmm.
And then he actually takes it. We have like a fake razor blade.
Mm-hmm.
And then he like went down his wrist.
Mm.
And then he killed himself in the tub. And then yeah, and then it revealed the balloon's actually the one that was telling him to do all those things.
Huh.
It's kind of like it, right?
Yeah.
That is dark. Yeah. That's
It's not as dark as that Jerry Lewis movie where he's a clown but he's in like Auschwitz. Did you ever hear about that one?
no.
Jerry Lewis, a comedian from like
Oh,
the 60s.
Wow.
It's like the day the clown died or something, but it was like banned. It was really weird.
oh
That
shit.
sounds heavy.
Lewis clown movie. The day the clown died.
Okay, no, I think I've seen
It
that
was unreleased, and it was directed and starring Jerry Lewis about a circus clown imprisoned in a Nazi concentration camp.
Wow.
There you go. That's dark.
Yeah.
Dark.
And I could go darker and all that too, right? And like stuff like that, I know people deal with in real life and that. So like it's a bit more realistic stuff that goes through people's heads. Um,
I think
Yeah.
sometimes I think there's sometimes like that's when it works best in a movie, like
yeah,
the really dark stuff, and then like the over the top comedy stuff.
yeah,
It sometimes balances itself out, right?
If it's done right, yes, it could.
Yeah, like I don't want to bring up Terrifier again, but they do that too, right? I mean, it's very kind of absurd, but then very violent and very kind of disturbing. So
Yep.
yeah, and that's what like Killer Balloon was like. It started off like very dark, and then it kind of went like the more silly, over the top humor, some dark lines from the Balloony because he has one liners, of course.
Of course.
And then it got some emotions for a character that dies in the film, and then such a great ending too. Like the ending shouldn't have worked that well. We were like kind of just banking on it, and Balloony's demise was quite impactful. I was like, "Holy crap! How did this work?"
That's
you're
awesome.
going to be tearing up here, Devon.
Mark, you'd have to have a heart to tear up.
Yes, that's true.
So, Mark, what else do you want to talk about?
I mean, I think we kind of covered a lot of stuff as far as your upcoming projects. Is there anything else, Devin, you want to bring up just in general, whether it's about your work, other artists that you work with, anything that you want to kind of promote?
Oh, for sure. There's the guy that actually made her poster. I catch her video, and he did our new poster for the Silver Scream. He's actually located in Saskatoon, so he's a Saskatchewan artist as well. And it's awesome. It's like one of my favorite posters for Dead Prairies, I'd say.
I think
It's
it's
all
pretty
hand drawn too. That's the crazy thing.
Right? Yeah.
I love that poster. That it feels like it fits for your films. 100%.
Oh, it's wild. It's wild.
It kind of feels like a 80s throwback, like a VHS.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. And that's what I messaged him because like I loved his work, and I've seen his work before in Saskatoon. And he actually came out to watch like our films at Saskatoon, and I was like, "Oh, it'd be awesome to work with this guy." And then I was like, "Could you do creep show style poster?" And he was like, 100% down on it. He asked what weapons the gnomes use in the film, and then I showed him a picture of the doll, and he captured the doll like perfectly. And Snowman, people will be like, "What the fuck?" They will be. It won't look like that one, that's for sure. But like, it's cool. It's I don't know. You watch those '80s horror films with like the very awesome covers, and then you go watch the movie. You're like, this does not look like this at all.
That's fair. That's absolutely fair.
Never judge a VHS by its cover.
It's awesome.
Cannot tell you how many people, when I worked at Blockbuster, checked out the wrong Jack Frost.
Oh yeah, that was a big subject back in the '90s there, and that's example too. Like Jack Frost, that cover was crazy cool, and then you go watch the movie, you're like, this does not look like the Snowman at all, but this is brilliant.
Yeah, I agree.
And again, that's really a throwback to a lot of like Frank Henenlotter, Basket Case.
Yeah,
that type of those ghoulies, and just a really interesting like monster concept, and it's just kind of goofy and silly and pretty cool.
Sort of like It's Alive. Like that movie is absolute trash in all the best ways possible. I love all three of them. Or is it four of them?
I think there's 3.
I'd have to look. I have the box set over here, and I have a full-size baby replica.
Oh, nice.
Hang on, I'm gonna grab it.
I think there's a one that's like they go to like an island or something. I think there were 3. Yeah. I remember my brother's friend being deathly scared of that baby.
This baby?
Yeah, that baby. That's fine.
I love this thing. I saw this when I was at a horror convention in Atlanta, and I had to have it.
That's brilliant.
Jim, how did you get a replica of you as a baby?
I know, right? That's what I said. Where'd you get my baby picture?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Hey, Mark, can you read my shirt? I wore it just for you.
No, I need my old
Thou
man.
may ingest a satchel of Richards.
Is what?
Thou may ingest a satchel of Richards.
That's rude.
I love it. And I thought it was perfect for today.
Nice.
So I brought up a list that I thought you guys would enjoy talking about because I know Devon's taste and Mark, you just hate movies in general. So I brought up a list of the 50 greatest indie horror flicks. Some of these I don't consider indie films, but I thought it'd be fun to go down and see what we thought.
Okay.
So number 1 on this list, because it's not ranked as in 1 through 50 of the best, it's just a total of 50 on the list, is a movie I have not seen, which actually bothers me. My Name is Bruce from 2007.
Yep. It's fun.
Is it?
Oh,
It's Bruce.
Yeah, it's where
Bruce Campbell. Yes.
Yeah, where Bruce
Yeah.
Campbell gets mistaken for Ash from Evil Dead and has to fight a zombie.
Mm-hmm.
I've only seen it once, and I don't remember too much from it. I don't recall hating it, but I don't recall loving it either. I'd say like in the middle point.
I'm a huge Bruce Campbell fan, so the fact that I haven't seen this bothers me. The next one is a movie that I love. I watch it every Thanksgiving religiously, and that's
killing.
Thanks.
No, it's Poultrygeist. Poultrygeist. Yep.
Oh, Trauma Entertainment.
That movie has me rolling on the floor every year. But you are not incorrect. I do watch all of the Thanksgiving movies every Thanksgiving.
That first one's so good.
It really is. I love.
Poltergeist seemed to have a little bit more funding behind it than
Yeah.
a lot of the more recent trauma stuff. They're supposed to be releasing the Toxic Avenger
August.
one soon, right?
I'm excited.
Peter Dinklage.
I was never a Toxie fan, to be honest.
Toxic Avenger 4 is the best of them.
Is it? I'll have to check them out. I haven't rewatched them since the 80s or early 90s, whenever they came out, but I was never the biggest fan, but it was long before I had such an appreciation for horror comedy.
I might like it now more.
Yeah. So I'll check them out again before the new movie comes out.
Oh, I'm excited for it. I actually remember buying the box set when I was younger in high school, and I was like went through watching that, and he definitely inspired me a lot, Lloyd Kaufman, for my cheesy horror films.
Yeah, I bet. Speaking of box sets, I just bought the entire original series of Dark Shadows.
Okay.
You probably have no idea what that is.
Nobody cares, Jim. Nobody cares.
Nobody asked you, Mark. I was talking to my friend Devon.
He doesn't care either.
Next up on this list is a movie that I actually really liked when it first came out, but I have not watched it since. That's Ravenous.
With
Guy Pearce.
And from 28 Days Later and
Robert
Carlyle. Yeah, it's a really weird one. The first time I watched it, I'm like, I don't know if I liked it. I rewatched it and liked it a bit more.
Yep.
But tonally, it's so strange. This is another one where it mixes like very serious tones with kind of goofiness.
Yeah.
But I don't think it ever picked a side or kind of balanced them right. But I think the movie making's great in it.
Yeah, I agree. Devin,
Ravenous.
Yeah.
Ravenous with David Arquette and all them.
Yep.
I actually just watched it this year, first time ever.
And
I liked parts of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I hated it more than liking it, to be honest.
Really?
Sort of means it's very uneven.
Yeah. It felt like it's all over the place, to be honest.
I think that's what I liked about it, was the fact that it was so chaotic.
Yeah.
Like it didn't you couldn't pin it down into any one comedy, or it almost felt like a descent into madness, which it was supposed to be, right? Because everybody was all over the place.
I think it's one of those movies where I think it needed to pick a side because it couldn't do both at the same time.
I'll have to rewatch it because I honestly have not rewatched it since the 90s.
I think I agree. I think it should have stuck to one side more.
Yeah, that's sort of how I feel about Barbarian.
Well, I would say that's totally different, but
Yeah, well, it still needs to pick a side.
but Barbarian literally is two different movies put together, so it's
Oh, I so pumped for his next movie,
What is his next movie?
it's
Weapons.
Oh yeah, that looks good. Weapons looks like it's going to be a lot of fun.
I'm excited for that one.
Mark, the next one I've never heard of. I don't know if you have. It's a Josh Hartnett movie called "I Come with the Rain."
No, never heard of it.
Devon.
I never heard that one either.
So he goes. It's about an ex-cop that goes to Hong Kong to track down a billionaire's missing son. That's all it says.
What year is it?
2009.
Okay, so that's kind of in the Josh Hartnett. He's disappeared kind of movies, right?
Yeah.
Because he's very famous, and he came back with that. And like,
Yeah, after H2O, he sort of just fell off the radar.
30 Days at Night. I think that was the last big one, right?
That was a great movie, though.
Oh yeah.
What about 2004 Santa's Little Helper or Satan's Little Helper?
Oh yes,
Love it. Jeff Lieberman is awesome.
I have not seen it, so I'll have to check it out.
It's fun.
It is awesome. I love Jeff Lieberman, like he did like a lot of 80s kind of Squirm, Blue. What was
Blue Velvet?
No, shut up.
It says it's visually inspired by Blue Velvet. I don't know what that movie is.
Blue. It's the one where it's like people who had taken drugs when they were teenagers partying, but it ended up that the drugs, when they got older, like mentally affected them, and they like lost their hair and went like crazy.
Don't know anything about that one.
Oh.
Blue. Something. Blue Sunshine. Worth checking out. I really dig Jeff Lieberman stuff.
Was that his last movie then? Satan's Little Helper?
I think so. I don't remember him releasing anything after it.
Which sucks because like I thought he'd make like a sequel to that one. I thought that was well done.
Oh, it was awesome.
I'll have to check it out. Because Devin likes it, not because you do, Mark.
Well, shut your mouth.
So
that was his last movie. He did do 3 episodes of Love You to Death, a TV series, but Satan's Little Helper was his last one.
I'm gonna have to watch it again. I forgot about that movie.
He did the Never-Ending Stories 3. Well, he wrote it. Sorry.
I was going to say, nobody watched that movie.
I don't even know.
So next on the list is a movie I thought was a lot of fun, Murder Party from 2007.
Did not like that one at all.
Why?
I didn't think it was funny.
I did.
And I didn't think it was just kind of dull to me.
I liked it. Have you seen it, Devin?
I remember bits and pieces of it. I have to watch it again, but I remember watching it when it first came out.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's anything I'm going to check out more than once, but I enjoyed it enough the first time.
Didn't work.
It's not really a horror film, but like Dave made a maze.
I love that movie.
So good.
The puppet gore is top notch.
I was shocked. I just put it on one day. I was like, man, this will be all right, I guess. And then it was like, wow, this film is way better than I expected.
Yeah, I agree. Mark, what do you think of Dave Made a Maze?
I have not seen it, but I know about it.
Now my head's going to explode.
Good.
Scanners.
Right.
Like a balloon.
So we're going to go down to 2006 for a movie called The Lost.
What's the synopsis?
This was done by Chris Syverson, the guy who did I Know Who Killed Me, which was atrocious. About a teenager who kills 2 women at a campsite.
Oh, I never seen that one.
If it had a bigger budget, the teenager would have killed 20 people. That's the ultimate review.
That's what it said.
Yes.
Oh, that's awesome.
You don't need a big budget to kill people.
I didn't write this article. This was from Games Radar.
I'm not critiquing you, Jim. Just I'll be right back.
Well, that's a change. I appreciate that.
Don't worry. I'll be back soon.
I know. Next up is a movie I have not seen, but I keep meaning to. Is 2008 Splinter.
Love it.
Oh, that was so good. That was awesome.
That's what I keep hearing.
Love it.
I hear really great things, but I always just forget. And apparently this is a running shtick because it says if it had a bigger budget, the Splinter would transform a lizard into a giant killer dinosaur.
It definitely took, some cues from The Thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah, I don't know. That's another movie that I did not expect to be that good.
Yeah. And for, a smaller budget movie, the effects were great in it.
Mm-hmm. It had like the Venom effect too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So next up is 2007's End of the Line. Canadian film in which nurse Karen takes the tube home, only for it to get stuck in a tunnel.
Oh.
As others are murdered before her, Karen bands with the other survivors to battle the supernatural.
I know what it is. I haven't seen it.
Oh man, I hated that one.
Did you?
Yeah, I remember that one. I watched it with my brother, and I remember just hating it.
And, everything out of Canada is probably awful, right, Jim?
Yeah.
I'm staying neutral. I'm like Switzerland right now. I love Canada.
Our 51st state. Right, Jim?
Mark, why are you looking to get yourself canceled?
Okay.
It'll give me more time to do other stuff.
I mean, you barely show up here. What's the problem?
That is true.
Oh, the director made slashers.
Slashers, really?
Yeah, the modern 80s slasher with 6 lucky contestants appearing on the game show.
I have not seen that one.
Is that the one with there's like a lot of the 80s scream queens in it? Or no, I'm thinking it's...
I don't think that's the one.
There
No.
was one with, like, they had, like, I don't know, like Dee Wallace and stuff. Probably
I don't know. Next up is a movie that I freaking love. It is bizarre and twisted in all the best ways. And that's May from 2002.
I like May. May sort of felt like Donnie Darko.
Kind of, yes. I would agree with that. It's a little bit dreamy almost.
It's kind of like emo.
Yeah,
it's like a movie.
It's got a lot of heart behind it, but it gets very bizarre.
Yeah. And I like Angela Bettis.
I actually typically do not.
No,
but I loved her in this movie.
I liked May. I thought it was like Carrie meets like Donnie Darko and had like that Frankenstein stuff going on there too. And yeah, May was underrated, I think. I think people should watch May more than... And it's not really talked about. That's the crazy thing.
It's not.
No.
What is this? Okay. Next up from 2007, we have a movie I've not seen called Homesick.
I don't recall that one either.
So it's Mr. Suitcase turns up at a party. He asks each of the revelers to name somebody they hate before killing each one of those people. And Mr. Suitcase is played by Bill Moseley.
Oh. Nice. No, I'd never seen that one either.
And it says if it had a bigger budget, Mr. Suitcase
they would have killed more people.
No, it says Mr. Suitcase would be a talking CGI suitcase.
No.
Yeah.
Never seen that one.
Mark?
Yeah, no, never heard of it.
Okay, next up from 2007 is The Signal.
Oh, with Chris, guy from Star Trek, right?
I don't know. It says it's it's directed by 3 people: David Bruckner, Dan Bush, and Jacob Gentry. A signal transmitted via technology turns people into killers.
I'm thinking.
I remember liking this film, but I haven't. I don't know when the last time. I honestly don't remember much about it, but I do remember enjoying it.
No, I'm thinking about something else.
Did it have like that Cell kind of vibe, like
Kind of,
Stephen
yeah.
King there? Yeah.
Oh,
Right.
wait.
They would put the phone up to their ear and they would hear the noise.
Yeah, I remember watching it. I just don't remember too much about that one either.
Yeah, I don't remember much about the film, but I remember not. I remember enjoying it, like enjoying watching it one time.
I'm gonna watch all these films now.
Yeah, right. So next up is 2009's Hell's Drifter. It's a game of cat and mouse in which a vagrant gets his revenge on a man who once abused him.
Oh,
And it says if it had a bigger budget, it would actually be set in hell.
Oh God. Did a 12-year-old write these?
I don't know.
Okay, so we're going to guess what they're going to say about it on the
I'm
next
good with that. Yep,
Okay.
I'm ready.
So what's the next one?
The next one is one of my favorite horror comedies, Feast from 2005.
oh, so good.
It's when she sticks her hand on that thing's throat, I was cheering.
Oh, that movie's so fun.
Mark,
Yes.
what'd you think?
And of course, that was the winner of that Project Greenlight.
Yep.
Yeah.
First movie they made.
Yeah. Yeah, really good. Henry Rollins.
Yep, I agree.
Mhm.
And if it had a bigger budget, Mark?
Huh?
If it had a bigger budget?
Then the monsters would have had more sex.
No.
They have more monster dicks.
Yeah, right.
They would
That's
have
not
had
true.
more accurate genitalia.
The running time would have been 3 hours.
Oh. No, that was good. I thought it was a good mixture of like comedy and horror. And then when they introduced like I think it was like the hero, the final person,
Yeah.
and then they died right away. I was like, oh,
Yeah. They did that meta sort
I
of.
love that.
Yeah, I love when the heroine or the final person dies. I love it.
At the start.
I wasn't a fan of the sequels though.
I thought Sloppy Seconds was okay. I didn't like the third one.
I've seen them all, but I'll only remember the first one. So
Yeah.
take
me too.
that with what it is.
The next one I didn't really care for. I tried to get into it a few times and I didn't care for it. Severance from 2006.
Really good. It's a British movie.
Is that
It
the
is.
Office one?
It's a black comedy about a group of coworkers that go on a team building exercise.
Oh, that one. I don't remember hating it, but I remember it dragged a bit.
Yeah, I just couldn't get into it myself.
It's because you hate British people, Jim.
No, just people from Northern Ireland.
Well, they're British, Jim.
I know, but I don't hate all British people, just the ones from Northern Ireland.
That doesn't fall in.
Do you ever watch Blood Sucking Bastards?
I did. That one was fun.
I like that one.
I
That was
like that
Office
one.
Space, but vampires.
Yeah, kind of. So from 2005, we're going with The Stink of Flesh.
That sounds very much like a 1950s kind of movie, right? Movie title.
Yep.
Flash.
No, never heard of it.
So it is a black comedy in which a group of people attempt to survive in a zombie wasteland. Think brutal, gory deaths, and a fair bit of nudity.
And if they had more money, Jim.
Yeah.
What?
You tell me. I know what it says.
No, I know. Oh, God. Use your imagination.
No.
All right, let's move
I
on.
keep telling you I'm the tech guy. I don't have an imagination. What do you got for me, Mark?
Next, just keep moving along there.
If it had a bigger budget, Kristen Hansen could have convinced her uncle Gunnar Hansen to be in the film.
Oh.
Next up is a movie Mark already talked about. It's inspired by Night of the Creeps. Slither from 2006.
Oh yeah.
I remember seeing it once. I don't really have an opinion about it.
Slither is really, really good. Not as good as Night of the Creeps, but it's such fun.
Yeah.
I remember watching it first time and not liking it, and then I watched it more when I got older, and I like this movie is awesome. Like the effects in it too.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
when she got like really super big in that, and I was like, holy smokes! And Michael Rooker too.
Yeah, Michael Rooker's great in it. And what's her name? Oh, Elizabeth Smart? No, what's her name? Elizabeth.
It doesn't say.
It does say Slither.
Banks. That's Elizabeth Banks.
Elizabeth Banks. I really like her. She's really
Yeah, I like her a lot. I really do.
That was a fun movie.
Mark, I'm not going to talk about this film because the last time I talked about it, your head almost exploded
Oh fuck.
because I haven't seen it. And that is 2009's Pontypool.
So I was going to go into a little bit of a spoiler about a certain story that's being written that includes both you and I, but
Go ahead.
It's very Pontypool.
It is. So Devon, if you don't know,
no, you haven't seen it.
So Devon, if you don't know,
I've seen the movie, yeah.
Yeah, but
that's not where I was going. I was not going to talk about the movie, but
Okay.
I am putting together a charity anthology of splatter, punk, and bizarro horror stories.
Nice.
And one of the stories features Mark and myself as the signal drives me insane while we're recording.
That's awesome.
And apparently Pontypool is very reminiscent of that.
That's cool.
like my Killer Clowns gun.
I do like that, actually. I want one. I've been wanting one of those since I saw it last year.
All right.
Okay. Next up is 2008 Spring-Heeled Jack.
The urban myth.
The titular serial killer awakens in 2004 after sleeping for the better part of a century and decides to add more bodies to his stockpile.
If they had more money, he could have killed more people.
No.
I
If
don't
they
know
had
that
a
one.
bigger if they had a bigger budget, it wouldn't have taken a year to film.
Oh,
Again, that doesn't follow at all.
I don't know. I didn't write it.
I know.
Next up, we have a classic from 1990.
Okay.
Jacob's Ladder.
Yeah.
I love this movie.
I have not seen that since it came out.
But it was fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
it had that Silent Hill type vibes going on.
Yep. It was very, very acid trippy. Like it was very. Mark, what's the word I'm looking for?
So it reminds me of like The Devil's Advocate, that sort of 90s. They had demons coming out and like tails coming out and weird things happening.
Yep.
Sort of vibe to it, and it's kind of like a pre Shalamanon sort of twist at the end, right? And
Yeah, I thought it was pretty great.
but I have to rewatch it. I haven't seen it in so long.
This next movie actually really bothered me. I was disturbed by this movie. So it's 2007's The Girl Next Door.
Oh, great movie, great movie.
It was hard to watch because it's based on a true story.
Yes. There's actually a couple of movies about it.
Yeah. Devin, have you seen it?
Girl Next Door. What year did it come out?
2007.
Yeah. Again, it's
I
based
don't
on,
think I've seen that one.
based on a true story. It's like 1950s, 60s, very Americana, white picket fences, and this family kind of has to look after a couple of girls from, family where the parents died or whatever.
Yep.
And the matriarch and her kids just basically
Tortured the shit out of her.
Oh my god.
to both the kids. And again, it's based on a real life thing, and it's horrific. It's Jack. God, why can't I remember anything today? The Girl Next Door.
Was there a comedy called The Girl Next Door?
There was Elisha
It's,
Cuthbert.
it's based on a Jack Ketchum book.
Oh, okay.
You know, Jack Ketchum. He does a lot of kind of
Yeah.
disturbing stories. So,
Yeah.
But again, based on the true life story.
No, I never seen that one.
Yep, it's worth checking out. You know, it's probably not one to have the family sit around and have like a good laugh about.
Yeah, no, it's definitely it gets you for sure. So next up is one of my favorite Canadian films ever made.
Gorfers?
Yes,
Ha!
100%. This I found this before I found Gorfers. So this is Cube.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Cube.
It's
Cube is awesome.
It is absolute perfection, and I still love both sequels.
Okay. I love Cube. I wouldn't say it's a perfect movie because clearly it's, you know, the budget didn't have enough money for really like the actors that they needed to have in it. But I think what they did with the budget was brilliant. Again, it's kind of the Saw one room thing, but they just changed the panels to make it like different colors and whatever. So they only needed like 2 or 3 different rooms.
They had one 14-foot room.
Yeah. And well, they must have been more. Wow. Yeah. Because they go through doors, right?
Tricks of the camera. It's called cinematography, Mark.
That's not what cinematography is. Anyway, but you know, conceptually, it's just great.
Yeah.
Really see the Saw really kind of took that sort of idea and just kind of moved it forward.
Yep. I agree.
The sequels were not great, and there's like a Japanese remake which apparently is awful.
I haven't
Really?
seen the remake yet.
I've not seen the remake either.
Yeah, I'm going to talk about a remake in a little bit.
Okay. Next up is a movie I actually really liked. I did not like any of the sequels to it though, and mostly it's because I thought it did a great job with atmosphere to keep you on the edge of your seat. I know, Mark, you probably didn't care for it, but it's 2007's Paranormal Activity.
Oh, couldn't stand
I hated it. I hated that movie.
it.
Fair enough.
It's the most
Get it.
boring piece of shit. Apart from like Skinamarink. I'm sorry, but you know, maybe I wasn't the target audience, but just this like the time lapse thing and the door opened a little bit, and then you know it's 5 minutes. Like don't care. It's not
I think-
interesting. The guy was super annoying. Conceptually, I think it could have been good, but I just didn't like it at all.
It could have been a good short film.
It made
I did like some of the sequels.
yeah, I didn't care for the
Like,
sequel.
I don't remember whether it was the second or third one, but you know they actually thought, oh, let's do something a little bit different. So rather than the static camera, they had a camera that was panning.
Yep.
So what that meant was things could come out as it was panning, which made it much more interesting than just a static camera.
But I mean, look, the movie was made for $15,000.
Don't care.
Yeah.
What was its box office?
Don't care.
Crazy amount.
What's it got to do with it?
193 million.
That's crazy, eh?
So
So he clearly did something right.
Wonder Woman 1984 made a whole bunch of money, and that movie's fucking trash. Like, who cares how much money a movie makes?
I'm just saying they had to have done something right to fill in that box office.
Objectively, right?
It's like Blair Witch too. They hit the right market, the right timing, and
Right.
they made like a crap load of money too. Or Skinamarink. Like Skinamarink,
Ugh.
Yeah.
it made money too on theaters, and I was like, holy smokes! Like,
Jim,
it's good for him, but like, it was not for me.
Jim, you're just saying ugh, but your whole point was Paranormal Activity made a whole bunch of money. So
Look,
obviously it was good.
Skinamarink was not for me.
A whole bunch of money, and then you're saying, ugh.
No, I'm saying I did not enjoy Skinamarink, but it clearly
It
did
has
something for audiences, just not me. I'm not that
Yeah.
audience. And I will say, I know the woman who plays the mom in Skinamarink.
but
She is probably the coolest person that
Yeah.
I've talked to, because when you tell her that you didn't enjoy the movie, she's okay with it, and she's still cool with you.
Well,
Nice.
we're all humans, but why bring up how much money something made as if that's a defense of it?
It wasn't a defense. I'm saying it did something right, even though you didn't enjoy it. Just like Skinamarink did something right.
Objectively, we're talking about our subjective opinions.
Objectively, Mark, with that return on that budget, objectively, they did something right.
What, the marketing team, maybe?
Maybe.
But what's
something was done right for it to bring in that box office.
Enjoyment about it, how much money it made.
What?
Some of my favorite movies made like fucking nothing. What does that say?
That objectively, they did not have the right formula for commercial success.
So that's what you think art is, commercial success?
No.
Okay, then shut up. Let's move on.
I mean, you're trying to make me the bad guy, but I'm talking in facts, and you're talking in opinions.
You're the bean counter.
I'm not saying everything that makes that is perfect for everybody. Okay. Some of my favorite movies are not commercial successes. They're fantastic movies, though.
It's weird because, like, say if you picked a wrong date, even, or you're up against Batman or whatever, then you're like, oh, it sucks because, like, I think Monster Squad did like crappy numbers, but
they did.
That movie was awesome.
If you look at like John Carpenter in the 80s, making classics, a lot of that was either ahead of the time or it was like timing. Like The Thing came out close to E.T. And
yes, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I mean. That's why I don't measure a film being enjoyable or being something I like by its box office success. But if we're talking commercial, which we are, their box office is a measure of their success. Okay. Next up, Mark and Devon, we have Monsters from 2010.
Yeah, I never watched it because
I haven't seen it either.
I heard it was very light on the horror. I mean, the concept's good, but
it says not an all-out horror.
If they had more money, though, they could have had monsters.
No, the film would be set in Tokyo.
Huh. I remember watching it, but I don't remember liking it. I think it was a very slow burn and nothing really happening.
Yeah, I've not seen it, so I can't speak to it at all. Next up is a zombie film called Colin from 2008.
Oh, that was made for like $20 or 20 pounds or something.
45 pounds.
What?
Yeah,
they 45 pounds. They're saying though that they don't believe that includes post-production.
Wow.
Yeah, you're like a mega budget filmmaker here.
Yeah.
No kidding. That's crazy.
Right? What is this? Oh, here we go. We're getting onto Fulci there, Mark.
Oh, nice.
You want to take a stab at what movie it is from 1979?
1979 is probably Zombie.
Zombie Flesh Eaters.
Oh.
Yeah, which is Zombie, Jim. Thank you. Zombie Flesh Eaters is what it was called in the UK.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
So, I mean, think about this. It's the one and only movie where a zombie and an actual shark fight each other. No other movie's done that.
And if it had a bigger budget?
They would have had more sharks.
Yeah.
The shark versus zombie skirmish would have been a full-on fist-to-fin fight and lasted 30 minutes.
It's really impressive what they did.
Oh, it's crazy what they did. And like the eye scene will always stand out for everybody too.
It's Fulci. You have to have some sort of
yeah. It's like they say, Fulci always says, she had eyes and I took that personally. Okay, Mark.
That's a weird one to bring up in this list. That's very kind of like left field compared to what the...
Yeah.
I didn't make the list.
That was a studio movie. It wasn't, as far as I know, like some sort of indie movie.
I don't know.
Like an Italian studio.
So next up, we have Switchblade Romance, Mark.
Oh,
the
High Tension.
High Tension, yeah.
Great movie, except
the ending.
Copied, intensity, that's fine, but that ending just absolutely ruined
It is a near plot point for plot point rip off of Intensity by Dean Koontz.
I wouldn't go that far. I mean, I think it's like a soft remake of it, but obviously the ending is just. And I think Asia, I think he said that he made the ending so different, so it would be different from Intensity, but that was the wrong move.
Oh, that movie was so good until the ending, and I was like, "What? That didn't make like a sense." But I don't know, Alex Aja. I really liked his really early stuff too, and
Oh, the Hills of Eyes remake
yeah,
is way better than the original.
Yeah,
Yes.
I agree.
I agree too. Yeah, and that's Wes Craven. I love Wes Craven, but I think the remake was better.
Wes Craven still made some movies, but
He
Yes.
did the what is it? The Chiller was. I still have not been able to finish it. I fall asleep every time I put it on.
Oh, Chiller.
But Mark, if it had a bigger budget,
for Hot Tension,
yeah.
they would have just made it in English.
Director Alexandra Aja would have thrown in some CGI piranha.
Ha.
God, it really is a 12-year-old that are writing.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. Next up is a movie that I've never met anybody that didn't like this film. It's from 2010.
Tucker and Dale.
Yep, Tucker and Dale versus Evil.
Oh, Tucker and Dale's so fun.
It is. It really is. And if it had a bigger budget, Mark?
Oh, I don't know, but I will say I think it's a better meta horror than Scream.
I agree. But if it had a bigger budget,
they would have had Brad Pitt in the.
it wouldn't have made a difference.
Well, they would have had piranhas.
Next up is a movie everybody loves from 2000, Ginger Snaps.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I've yet to meet anybody again.
And again,
like it.
to me, that really falls into the same sort of Donnie Darko type of emo movie from that decade or around that decade. But yeah,
and it's also the movie that made Catherine Isabel beloved by every teenage male in America.
Well, it blew my mind. Like, even after watching it, I didn't even realize that the other sister was the girl from the It.
Yes, the young Beverly.
I didn't put those two things together when I was.
Me either. Me either.
But she looks, the same.
Yep. What did you think of it, Devon?
Oh, Ginger Snaps is really good. I thought that was like one of the better Canadian horror films too.
Yeah. The third movie was terrible.
You mean one of the better 51st State movies?
Next up, we have The Devil's Business from 2011.
That sounds like the devil's poop. Never heard of it.
I've not seen this, so I don't know anything about it.
It doesn't sound familiar.
It's about two assassins that sit and wait for their target to return home. It honestly sounds boring as shit.
With more money,
three assassins.
Have more piranhas.
The film would be an artillery spewing blowout from start to finish. That's what you want from an assassin, right? Oh, God. Next up, Mark, we have your favorite movie of all time.
Okay, go ahead. What
Tell
Martyrs?
me. Yes, it's Martyrs.
Okay.
Martyrs.
And we will talk about this again. We talk about this. Devon, have you seen Martyrs? I don't know.
I've seen the remake and I've seen the original. I liked it, but I would actually pick Inside over Martyrs.
I love Inside. Inside would be my second favorite as far as like the new French Extremity.
Yeah.
I could talk all day about Martyrs, and I'll talk a bit about it because I watched the remake, unfortunately. The thing that lets Inside down a little bit for me is the kind of comedy cops.
When they got shot in the head there.
Yeah, they're just so like the rest of the movie feels real.
Yeah.
They just feel like they're being put in there to like be like kind of goofy. Like
Another kill.
it doesn't really feel like in line with the rest of the movie. Otherwise, absolutely love it.
Oh,
Absolutely
it's
love it.
wild. When I remember watching Inside the first time, I was like, "What the hell am I watching?" And then
Oh,
like, it was intense.
it's so brutal.
The
Yep.
remake sucks so much.
Now I have not seen that.
So, Mark,
Yes.
what did the director say was the hardest part about filming this movie?
What, Martyrs?
Yes.
The hardest part?
Yes.
I don't know.
Keeping the girls crying the whole time.
Oh.
Apparently, they won't work with him anymore for some reason, and I don't know why.
I mean, he did some pretty messed up stuff in this
I mean,
film.
but they're actors, right? I mean, that's their job. But I don't know if there was other stuff that went on, or maybe it was too intense for. I just don't know. I just heard that they wouldn't work with him again.
Oh.
Okay, so next up we have 1977's Eraserhead.
Okay, David Lynch.
I have not seen it, which is weird to me because I like David Lynch.
It's David Lynch at his most surrealistic art house weirdness, and it's very disturbing.
I'll have to check it out. Have you seen Eraserhead?
I've never seen the actual full movie. I remember seeing the cover every time I went into the movie store.
Yeah.
And everybody would know the main character's hair, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. That's what everybody remembers. Okay, so next up is 2004's comedy genius film Shaun of the Dead.
Yep.
I love the movie.
I think it's really good. Like, I don't love it as much as I think other people love it, but I mean, it's still a very funny, entertaining movie.
Yeah, I agree.
Brilliant partnership between the two. I watched it again, and it wasn't as funny as I remember. It's still awesome, but it's wild how many times we had to put the volume up and down. It went quiet so much times, and then it just like boom,
Yeah.
loud. I was like, holy moly.
I think that's a symptom of modern-ish movies.
It is.
Like, I don't know what about the sound. Like, I don't know whether they do that to enhance like jump scares or something. But literally, it's like sometimes you're like, what? And then
They're
it's
like whispering and stuff too. I was like, holy smokes. I don't remember
Yep.
being that quiet when I was like, but like it was very all up and down for the volume. So I was like, but still, it's a good movie. I love Nick Frost and Simon Pegg. Those two
Yeah.
worked well together.
Yeah,
I agree.
obviously they were in like Spaced and like some gay comedy stuff prior, but yeah.
So next up we have the 1992 genius film from Peter Jackson,
Dead Alive.
Dead Alive,
Brain
aka
Dead.
Brain Dead. I used this for about 10 years as a test as to whether or not I could hang out with somebody.
I'm a little surprised that they put this on the list and not Bad Taste.
I was gonna say Bad Taste, yeah.
Because as far as like,
I still haven't made it all the way through.
so, I think Bad Taste was more of a breakout than Dead Alive, even though Dead Alive is a much better movie. But.
Did you know that when the film came in under budget, they made him shoot another scene?
The baby scene, isn't it?
The one in the park, yeah.
Yeah, they filmed the park scene after.
Yep. Next up is a movie I've not seen. Mark, I know you've seen it, but I don't know how you feel about it. It's 2010's I Saw the Devil.
It's my favorite revenge movie of all time.
Yep.
It's absolute. Like, nobody does revenge movies like South Korea. Like, they knock it out of the park all the time. And I Saw the Devil, like, if you had like a definition of revenge movie, that would be it for me. Absolutely fantastic. Everything about it.
Devon?
I enjoyed the story. I remember renting that on, I think, DVD at a video store, and I really liked the story.
And
I haven't seen it.
And what it really captures is about the whole if you go out for revenge, dig two graves.
Yeah.
Saying it really shows like you understand what the main protagonist, why he's doing what he's doing, but it's so self-destructive to him and people he loves too, that it's just all pointless in the end. Like he should have just the guy in the first place.
I almost thought I brought up the wrong list with this next title.
But I'm sorry, I Saw the Devil, again, this is about indie movies.
That's what it says.
Like, I don't think that's an indie movie. Like, I Saw the Devil. Like, a lot of these, I think, are studio, well-financed, not indie movies, but...
I couldn't tell you because I haven't looked them up.
There's some movies on the list that like seem very, very low budget, and then they're like Shaun of the Dead. I don't think.
Yeah, that's not a low budget film, or
Yeah.
indie film, in my opinion. But this one actually sounds really interesting. It's Harold's Going Stiff from 2011. So, and it says that it is a zombie film that plays with the idea of dementia.
Oh,
It's not some porn movie?
No. It says
That
Harold
sounds
Gimble
interesting.
descends into zombieism. It's shot as a mockumentary and is one of the most moving horror films you'll ever see.
That it reminds me of The Taking of
Speaking of Deborah Logan, yeah.
which again, real life stuff is more horrifying than.
And Mark, I agree with some of these. It says if it had a bigger budget, it wouldn't need it because it needs to be an intimate film, which I think is probably it sounds like a great recommendation.
it sounds good.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to look that one up. Next up is Dawn of the Dead from 1978.
Never heard of it.
Ha!
Jim, have you seen it?
No, I've seen the remake. I don't think I've ever seen the original.
Never the original.
This is what I have to put up with. Dawn of the Dead. Jim's never seen it.
Oh, the original.
Yeah,
Oh,
I've seen the remake. I don't think I've ever seen the original.
Have you seen Night of the Living Dead, Jim?
Yes.
Have you seen Day of the Dead?
No. I bought the steelbook of Return of the Living Dead.
That's a totally different series.
I know,
And why did you watch Return of the Living Dead, Jim?
because Mark forced me to.
Anyway, so again, I would really put, as far as like his original trilogy, either Night in this list or Day rather than Dawn. As far as indie.
Fair.
Or even like his later stuff too, right? Like his later stuff seemed to be very more lower budget too.
Yeah. His later stuff like Survival and Dire really, really suffered from
Oh yeah.
old man not understanding how like the internet works and blogging and everything. Like that's not what people do, but
Yeah, I was ashamed to see.
But again, good for him. Like he stuck to his guns. He's like, I still want to make more of these movies, and I'm going to like basically self-fund or not, have a big studio that's going to mess with what I want to do.
He wanted to do his thing.
Yeah,
He did his thing. Okay, next up is the original 1997 Funny Games.
Okay.
I haven't seen this or the remake.
I don't know if this is an indie movie. I almost think the 12-year-old that wrote this list thinks that anything made outside of the US equals an independent movie.
Maybe, yeah.
Fair enough.
So, I mean, I really like Funny Games, Michael Haneke. I do think it's a little bit of a weird choice to like criticize the audience that goes to see it about their morality, about watching horror movies. Like, okay, well, that's a choice, but otherwise, really great home invasion movie.
Yeah.
This next one I fall squarely into. I don't think this is an indie film, but I could be wrong.
Is it The Shining?
No, it's an amazing Spanish language film from 2001.
2001?
The Orphanage?
No, The Devil's Backbone.
Okay. Sorry, did you say it was a Spanish movie?
It is. And it's done by Guillermo del Toro and Pedro Almodovar. I never say this guy's name. Pedro Almodovar?
It's a Mexican movie, isn't it, Jim?
Yes, it's a Mexican movie.
Okay, that's different from Spanish.
They speak Spanish. I said Spanish language film.
Okay. Well, that's why I tried to clarify if you said Spanish or not.
Spanish language film.
Yes, Devil's Backbone. I dig it. It's got some great moments in it, but
Yeah.
I prefer some of his other work over it. I think it's a little slow in places.
Well, I think it is too because it's more of a drama. It's not about the jump scares or something horrible happening. It's about what the kid's going through.
I mean, that compared to like Pan's Labyrinth. And I think they're both exploring wartime trauma
Yes.
in different ways. And I know kind of Devil's Backbone had some basis in reality about like that bomb that didn't go off.
Yeah.
That was just sitting there. But I think he kind of really refined his filmmaking by that point. So
That's fair. Devon, have you seen it?
I think I watched it a long time ago. I remember the cover. I remember the kid in it. I don't remember much besides that.
Fair enough. Next up is a movie. Well, okay. Apparently, if we're talking indie horror, he's saying anything. Well, I'm not going to assume. But we're talking about Henry, Portrait of a Serial.
That's an indie movie to me.
Yeah, it had a budget of $110,000.
Well, it's not even about budget, right? It's whether it's like
it was a non-big studio.
It's not a studio movie.
Yeah,
that's the sort of thing. Oh yeah, Henry's great. It was one of those kind of gateways into the grimy, kind of like Man Bites Dog, sort of intimate, sort of serial killer like angst.
Yeah.
Michael Rooker again is great. Tom Knowles is great too, and it's just again, those are the movies where you kind of want to take a shower after watching because it feels kind of icky.
Yeah.
There's a sequel which I've never seen, but apparently it's very good.
I don't know.
Yeah, there is.
Let me see. Hang on. Next up is 1999's The Blair Witch Project.
Never heard of it.
I felt so duped by this movie because I bought into the marketing whole hog. Like, they got me. I was the sucker.
Can you explain that a little bit, Jim?
I went into this movie thinking it was an actual documentary.
You were very naive. So how old were you in 1999?
I would have been...
You weren't 4.
24 maybe? No, I graduated. No, I would not. Yeah, because I graduated when I was 18. And this is 5 years after that.
And you thought it was an actual documentary?
I did, because I fell for the marketing. 100%. I hook, line, and sinker.
Sweet summer child. I mean, I think the Blair Witch is funny because I met the cast and Eduardo Sanchez at Spooky Empire last year, a couple of years ago. And I was talking to him about it and talking about like Cannibal Holocaust and stuff. And he's like, yeah, if I'd watched Cannibal Holocaust prior to making Blair Witch, I wouldn't have made Blair Witch because I thought it would have been a ripoff.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Like in that kind of cinema style, which, yes and no. I mean, Cannibal Holocaust is, again, a movie split into two. So it's not the same as the Blair Witch Project. So the Blair Witch Project very much is just that fan footage portion of it. But I can see why people don't like it. Absolutely. I just love it.
Fair enough.
I respect what they did, and it was different. I don't like the movie itself.
I can totally understand.
I prefer the sequel.
The ending I thought was the best part.
I remember talking to people about it, and I guess they weren't really paying attention during the movie, and they missed the whole part when they're interviewing the people in the town, and they're saying she used to make one person stand in the corner while they killed the other one. So they missed that, right? For whatever reason. And they were so confused about the ending. They're like, why is he standing in the corner? Like, this doesn't make any sense. I'm like, you weren't paying attention.
That's fair.
But maybe like say you're in a movie theater back then, you go to the bathroom, you miss that part.
That 1 second, yeah.
You totally wouldn't know what's going on. But yeah, I mean, found footage in general, I think it can be very hit or miss.
Yeah.
And there's so much about that kind of natural acting that can be very forced and not good. But I think they did a really good job. But I can totally understand people not liking it. Jim?
So next up is 1974's Black Christmas.
Oh, Bob Clark.
I loved the original Black Christmas.
It's funny he made this on a Christmas story too.
Yeah. Devon, what'd you think?
Black Christmas, I loved it.
Yeah.
I thought it was very, I don't know, I had that whole, obviously like Michael Myers type thing, but
Yeah.
it came before Halloween. No, I liked it a lot as very like Texas Chainsaw Massacre, where he didn't really need to show like the violence.
Yeah.
And creepy still.
Okay. I'm not a Ty West fan.
So hang on, can I just talk about Black Christmas for a
Sure.
second? I mean, I think it very much was one of those instrumental stepping stones.
Sure.
Between like a Peeping Tom and a Psycho,
Mm-hmm.
a Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Black Christmas, then mixing in kind of all the giallo stuff.
Yep.
Make like that slasher boom in the 80s.
Yeah.
I think what Black Christmas does wonderfully well is a lot of the phone calls.
Yes.
And Margot Kidder, who's just like, fuck you. It's like she's not taking any of that shit, which is so natural. But I also love that ending, right? Where it's still that girl that was killed in the attic and nobody's found her. She's just still sitting up there. But yes. Sorry.
I did enjoy, I know people are not a big fan of Terrifier movies, but Terrifier 3 had like a little nod to Black Christmas.
Absolutely.
I thought that was pretty cool.
Had a nod to like a lot of different
Yeah.
films.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely. Jim?
So next up, I'm not a Ty West fan, but this is House of the Devil from 2009.
Nope, didn't like
I haven't seen it,
it.
mostly because I've not seen a Ty West film that I do enjoy. Except, he did Red State though, right?
No, that was Kevin Smith.
Oh, Kevin Smith.
No, he did the Jim Jones.
Oh, right. That one I thought was good.
Which was like sort of out of his wheelhouse, I think. But
Yeah.
I think it was his best one.
Yeah, I agree. Devon?
House of the Devil.
I'm not a big fan of Ty West as well, but that one with like the one you guys were talking about there, I thought it was one of his better ones.
Yeah, I agree. It's the only one I've enjoyed. Next up is a classic. It's 1974's TCM.
Mm-hmm.
What was my favorite part of trivia that I found out about this is who the narrator is? Because I watched the narrator for many years on TV before I knew he narrated this film. Do you know who it is, Devon?
The narrator for Texas Chainsaw Massacre? I don't know the guy's name offhand. I know there's a guy that made like a fan film of Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and he actually got the guy that did the narrative.
It was John Larroquette from Night Court.
Nice.
The Sacrament, by the way, was the Ty West one.
That's the one, yes.
That's it, the Sacrament, yeah.
You know, it's funny, like for Texas Chainsaw, so he was trying to get it released as a PG movie at the time.
I mean, you probably could have done that in the 80s.
70s.
Well, I'm just saying in the 80s, we had men ripping off their own faces
I know.
in a bathroom in PG films, so...
But that's why I think a lot of the violence is off screen.
Yeah.
And what was going to be the original title of the movie? Here's the trivia.
I don't know.
Fuck. Was it some of those cheese?
Head cheese.
Head cheese. Yes, I was like,
Really?
Yes.
Interesting. Did not know that. Mark, your Night of the Living Dead's up next.
Okay, I feel that's kind of a bit lame to put two movies from the same director on a
You've
list.
done nothing but complain about this movie, this list the whole time, so
Yeah,
that doesn't
well,
surprise me. Next up is another classic, The Evil Dead.
Never heard of it.
Never.
And then the last one on the list is pretty much the penultimate slasher. It's Halloween.
Oh,
The penultimate slasher. What does that mean, Jim?
What?
The penultimate, the one before the last.
The one before the ultimate, yes.
So what's the ultimate slasher, Jim?
For me, it's Nightmare on Elm Street.
And there was no other slashers after that.
No, it's the ultimate, not the end,
You said penultimate.
which would be second from the top.
No. That's not how it works. But anyway, we'll move on.
Well, there's nothing to move on to. That's the last film.
You really need to brush up on your English language skills.
Shut up, Mark.
Penultimate.
I'm not going to take that from some Northern Irishman.
Anyway, Devon, I hope you've enjoyed our bickering.
that was awesome.
So I want to talk about Jim Martyrs, the remake, which I haven't watched the movie in a while because of my stupid ADHD, and I have no idea why I sat down and said, "This is a movie I never want to watch because Martyrs is my favorite horror movie."
Yep.
But I decided to, maybe in the essence of self-torture and whatever, I put it on, and it takes away every element that made the first movie great. Every single element, from the acting, direction, storytelling, story, and it looks so cheap. And I looked up the budget for the original and the budget for the remake.
Mm-hmm.
So, Jim, can you guess, or Devon, what the original Martyrs budget was?
No.
Just ballpark.
Original one?
Yeah.
I mean, based on your comment, I'm going to say less than $500,000.
I'll say 250.
What, for the original Martyrs?
Yeah.
No. It was $4 million.
Okay.
Adjusted for
inflation.
No, for the US dollar. Now the remake was $1 million.
Oh.
But it took away so many pivotal things about the story in the first one, where it's incomprehensible if you haven't watched the first one. What the hell's going on?
Okay.
And then it did what I feared, was to what makes I don't want to spoil it because obviously the whole greatness of Martyrs, as much as anything, is not knowing what's happening until you watch it.
Right.
But I'm like, I've probably talked about this. The ending section of Martyrs, the last 30 minutes, is about, there is no Hollywood ending. There's no escape, right? There's no way out of this. The remake does the Hollywood ending type of thing. Not exactly, it's not like it's a happy ending, but it super went there as far as the approach. I'm like, you have misunderstood this movie. Absolutely. Like, what? Anyway, so I just had to vent for a little bit. Devon, you've seen the both the remake and the original.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts about the remake?
The remake was very watered down, and they didn't have that same feeling. I felt the same way for the Inside remake. If you ever decide to watch that Inside one,
I might.
It was so tamed compared to that French version of it, right? And it's just, I don't know, it just wasn't the same feeling at all.
And it's not even tame as far as how violent it is, but like emotionally.
Yes.
It like the character of Lucy in the remake, she doesn't seem like psychologically damaged at all. In fact, she's helping Anna when she's breaking down. Like, you've got these characters so mixed up, and they're so like there's no connection to them compared to the first. Like, okay, well, I'm not going to complain too much. Or sorry, Devin, if you have anything else to say about it.
Oh no, I didn't have the same feeling at all compared to the original.
Okay. Mark, anything else you want to talk about?
So the only other thing that I watched, which was more of a disappointment because I'd heard such good things about it.
Sure.
I obviously knew going into the Martyrs remake, it was probably going to be trash. But I tried to go in with an open mind and hope for the best. But I watched Predator, Killer of Killers.
Yep.
Which is the best rated, like on IMDb and whatever, Predator movie out there. And it's done by the same guy that did Prey, which was phenomenal. This was not very good. This, Devin, have you watched it?
Yeah, it looked cool. It had some pretty neat moments, but I lost interest pretty fast.
And Jim, have you seen it?
No, I have not.
So it's like an anthology movie, obviously animated. The first one is like a Viking woman leader, which I thought was kind of, I don't know if that happened back then, but that's fine. Which wasn't kind of interesting. There was a middle segment as with ninjas back in kind of feudal Japan, and then there was like a more modern day one, which was a guy in World War II who was a wannabe pilot. The plot armor was so thick around these people, and they did things which were so unbelievable that it just made the Predators look dumb, like totally incompetent.
Yep.
I did like the art style for it, and I thought the kind of the Japanese middle section was the best, and then they tried to tie it all together at the end. But I'm sitting here watching this, I'm like, even if this, I'm just reading it as a comic book, and I know different media, you look at it differently. I'm like, why is this rated so high? I don't understand it. If this was a live action movie, people will be like ripping this apart as far as the plot holes and the plot armor, and it doesn't make any sense. And like I don't get it. But unfortunately, those were my two viewing experiences.
And that's fair. I haven't really watched anything new, so I don't really have much to talk about as far as new stuff goes.
Well, Devin, did you want to like say anything about the Predator, Killer of Killers one?
Yeah, I don't know why it was like highly rated. I did like the animation.
Mhm.
I didn't really buy into the storyline. I kind of just fell, like my interest went down pretty fast, and I don't know. I definitely is not the highest rating Predator movie. It should not be. And like you said too, I think if it was like a live action, they would have slammed it, just like the 2018 Predator, I think it was.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and again, it was such a weird choice. I guess they were trying to, and I kind of like the Predator through like human history concept. But even the last story about the guy who wanted to be a pilot, a wannabe pilot against the Predator doesn't make any sense. I mean, they tried to do, he's going to maneuver around their ship and do things. Like, that's not going to work, dude. Like, it's not. They've got better technology. It's, I don't know. Disappointing.
Fair enough. Devin, anything you've seen recently you want to talk about?
I actually watched, what did I watch recently? The Final Destination Bloodlines was one of the latest films I've watched.
And how did you like that?
I liked it. I don't know if it's my favorite Final Destination movie still, but I thought it was very neat. I usually watch a movie and then I go home, look at some like the facts and trivia and all that. So I didn't know that they gave permission to Tony Todd to say pretty much whatever he wanted for life and death. And I was like, that's cool. Like you definitely felt it too. Like
Yeah.
seeing that scene actually teared me up a little bit because like you could tell he was saying goodbye basically.
Yep.
In real life, he was like, this is it. This is my goodbye. This is my last movie. Big thank you to all the horror fans that supported me. And yeah, I don't know. It's just such a nice dude too. That's the thing. Like I met him and he was so nice to the fans.
Yeah.
So it was very emotional seeing that because like you could tell that was it for him and he looked very unwell. I'm glad they were able to give him a scene and more than just like a second, you know, like I was worried that they're like, oh, here's a quick second of Tony Todd. They actually gave him lines that were more than just a sentence.
Yeah. I thought it was great. I thought it was a great send-off for him. I thought it was emotional and it was really well done. I don't think Final Destination Bloodlines was a great movie, but it was a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah.
And I haven't seen it, but I would say that's a good encapsulation of all the Final Destination movies.
I don't know. I dropped out after the third one.
I think part 2 is the best of the series, was without seeing Bloodline.
Still number 2, yeah.
Yeah.
But none of them are bad. And, you know, again, it's just that same formula. It's just how can we make this accident happen, right?
Right.
And that's the fun of the movie. So
yeah. I did really like the whole 60s opening. I won't say too much about it because it's pretty new still. But yeah.
Okay, well, Devon, thank you for joining us today. This has been a blast. It always is when you come on, and I'm so stoked for everything you have going on. There are big things coming for you guys, for you and Dead Prairies Productions, and I could not be more excited to watch you grow.
Oh, thank you so much, man. I appreciate it.
Mark?
Yeah, apologies for you having to have Jim in one of your productions. I mean, I can only express my deepest sympathies to that. But
it's wild.
Devon, you're always welcome back. It's always a pleasure.
Awesome.
And again, much love for helping out all our furry friends.
Thank you. Jim's in the biggest Dead Prairie production movie right now, actually.
Ooh.
It's the most.
See, I'm a bigger box office draw than you thought, Mark.
Oh God.
Be like Paris Hilton, House of Wax.
Yeah, exactly. Just give me a pull to the head. I'm good. I'd love to die on screen. That'd be fun.
Hey, just throwing this out there. Like with Cannibal Holocaust, they have like an animal cruelty-free version. Can I have a Jim-free version? Can you just edit out his parts? It would be great.
Oh shit! Cost more.
I do have to give out some pivotal information, Mark, so probably not.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I really don't know how pivotal it is, but I know my lines, and that's all I know about the script. But anyway, Devon, thank you again. I'm going to go ahead and end the live stream, and then we'll chat for a sec.
Okay, awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thanks,
so
everybody.
much.